Happy Wednesday. Nobody's here yet. Sorry for the setting. Just kind of light in here. I don't know how to. I forgot again. I forgot my my stand for my phone. My previous stand and the phone for inside the car was stolen from the car, and I have not gotten a new one. Anywho, hope everyone is doing well. It's a Wednesday. I think we're gonna have a sunny day today, and then most likely in the afternoon it may rain or be cloudy. So I'm good. How are you, Moose? Hi, what is your scent of the day? How are you? Hope you're having a good week. I've had a little bit of a rotten start to the week. Monday and Tuesday, and I'm hoping that things will start getting better after that. Like, it's just like, I don't know, every day work stuff, things not functioning. But Creed Royal Water, wow, Creed Royal Water, have I smelled that one? I don't think so. I haven't really smelled a lot of Creed ones. Like, I have smelled the Minimes. I have smelled, like, obviously Aventus and a bunch of like flankers. I'm actually considering selling my Virgin Island water. I'm waiting for the cap. I have a cap, but it's just somebody is holding it, so I'm waiting for that, and I will be selling that bottle. And I don't think I've smelled anything else. Like, I think I've smelled the, well, Delphinus and Citrus and stuff, but that's not really like the traditional Creed. Anywho, so today I am wearing Mizensir Sweet Praline. Virgin Island water is nice, but I never, yes, so that's what I kind of, I had a sample, I wore the sample. I was like, I tried the sample a few times, like a couple of times, and then I wore it for the day, and it was nice, but it was never like, it's never something that I would go and look for in my cabinet, like my where I have my fragrances. Mizensir is not bad, just too many releases. I have Papier from them. I've actually never even heard of it. So apparently, I didn't notice. I just found out recently that this was Alberto Maria's house, I guess. And am I right? Is that Alberto Maria's house? I'm hoping that I'm not mistaken, but it's a Swiss house and founded in 2015, I guess. So it's been 10 years that they've been around, and in 10 years they've had 41 Fragrantica entries. So that's like 4 fragrance a year, which is huge. I mean, it's averaged out. Probably they had more initial releases. Yes, Alberto and his daughter, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I really started kind of like this. I think the most famous one from them is the Treasure and For Your Love, because they smell like kind of close to what do you call it, Baccarat Rouge 540. And then I started looking into the house, and really one of the first ones that grabbed my attention was Poudre d'Or, not this one that I'm wearing today. And that's just because of powdery fragrance and whatever, I ended up getting that one. I'm gonna be going through my Mizensirs over the next few days because I want to know like what I want to keep and what I want to sell. Is there any one of Mizensir that you like? What is Vert Empire smell like to you, Carl? I have a few. I think I have Eternal Musk. I have For Your Love, I think. I have Poudre d'Or, this one, and Luxury. So I have a few. I think I have 5. Was that 5? Yeah, 4 or 5 of them. I did try. Oh, what I really like from them is Bois d'Irisante. That one I know for sure I will keep. I smelled that one the first time I was in Italy, which was 2024. And hi, Bel Air. Bois d'Irisante at the store. Like, there's a nice store in Milan, perfume store in Milan. Yeah, was it in Milan? No, it's a Rome store. I think it's a store in the Rome. And they had a lot of Mizensirs. I did smell Bois de Ricin there, and it kind of stayed in my mind, and I saw it popping up in discounters, and about 6 months later, so I ended up getting one. Papier is a green scent with an ambroxan base. So yeah, I think this is kind of like the signature of the kind of the whole house, using synthetics and this kind of molecular things. And I don't know how I feel about it. So I feel like, I think it tries to convey certain image to me. Like, you know, just being in Switzerland, the fragrance house, like, it feels like, you know, some of the smells are like being in a luxury mall, like, you know, I just walk around and that kind of smell, or like a luxury hotel, like, you know, like that kind of smells that gives. I've been having a hard time with synthetics in not synthetics, I don't know if what's the right word for it, not the synthetics that are like made of a kind of similar molecule that is found in the nature. The synthetics that smell like nothing that you smell in real life, or in the in the nature. So we're having a little bit of a trouble with that, and this is why I'm kind of thinking about the one that I'm wearing now. It does smell nice, I'm not gonna lie. I could smell this. Hi, Sense for Thoughts. I think I would smell it in the like this Mizensir kind of generally. Like I could smell it in a luxury spa, I could smell it in a luxury hotel or in a luxury shopping mall. Do I want to smell like that? I'm not sure. I would like it to smell kind of like this on my clothes if there was a laundry detergent, but I don't know if I would like that. My scent of the day is Dunhill British Leather. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's like MFK, but different. Yeah, right. I think that's kind of like goes to that direction. ZTV Mein Come Karna. What? I can't read that. And what's up? So Papier does the same thing as original Vetiver by Creed, but in MFK twist. Yeah, I feel like that you were absolutely right. When I was looking at the notes of this one, so the notes of this one are, so we're talking about Mizensir Sweet Praline. The notes are raspberry, hedion, jasmine, sambac, incense, benzoin, ambroxan, and papyrus. And that kind of raspberry and ambroxan and kind of a little bit of a sweetness into it. I was like, what were you trying to do? Was it that you were trying to kind of like do something MFK like in that line? So it kind of gives that vibe. And for that reason, I don't know this is going to be something that I will keep. It's nice. Like, I could see someone who is like, it smells designer, very much designer. Obviously, it's not a niche fragrance by any means. I could see someone who is like into designer smells and things like that would like this one. I think it really smells closer to La Nuit Trésor from Lancôme. But I like La Nuit Trésor for the price point. Yeah, so I mean, if I'm gonna wear La Nuit Trésor, I will wear La Nuit Trésor. I don't know what I do. I mean, discounter price is kind of close to like to that, but anyways, I mean, the bottles are gorgeous. Like, you know, I think the thumbnail shows the bottle. I love the design of the bottles and how kind of like a little bit simplistic, very chic. I think that's what they're going for, like the chic, kind of luxury, that kind of, you know, smell. And I can see people actually like it very much. But would I wear it? Considering what I have in my collection, probably not. Probably not. So I may declutter this one just for that reason. And I don't think so. I've been trying to ask myself, like when I'm reviewing like I'm wearing fragrances now. Number one, I like it, love it, or meh. If I like it, is this something that I will ever think of if I sell it? Probably not. Like, there's a million fragrance that smells the same to me. I mean, as I said, like if you have like 10 fragrances in your collection, this might be something unique, but not to me. Hey Karen, how are you? I love the dogs in the label of bottle. Really? There are dogs in the label of the bottle? I didn't know that. Oh, I have to go check. I don't think the original vetiver, the one that I'm wearing now, Sweet Praline, has that. And that's the other part. Like, praline to me doesn't smell like this. Like, I feel like the kind of like the name is misleading. In some of them, there are two dogs on the side. Oh, I didn't know that. I have to go check. I wasn't aware. I have to go check. I like, you know what I like with the, like this brand? Like, I mean, this is kind of out of context, but what I like bottles wise is Diptyque bottles. I really like these Diptyque bottles. Number one, they fit very well in the palm hand and is like easy to spray. I do not like that the whole thing here is this metal, or feels like plastic. I don't like that, and the cap is plastic. I would rather have it heavy, but I like the design of the bottles, and I like this artwork of the Diptyque bottles. Now this one doesn't have as much. They don't have as much in there, but I like this kind of label and artwork in it, and I think there was a story for the Diptyque bottles. Something that they're trying to convey. Is it the cities? I'm not sure what it is, but like there's a story about them. I bought the latest version of Instant by Guerlain and for my wife, and it's a crap, really. Oh no. Sorry. I think I have Lanston in those old versions, Belair, and the best Lanston, in my opinion, is Lanston. Wait a minute. Lanston Millésime Iris Noel. Now, those words might not be in the same order. I think I have 3 bottles of it. 3 or 2. I'm not 100% sure. I have 3 or 2 bottles. I should declutter one. I'm never going to go through one bottle. But that's the best Lanston to me, of Lanston and the flankers. I have Lanston Extrait. I have, oh, no, sorry. That comes after Lanston Magique Elixir. And that was a very limited release from Guerlain. If you look up, and I really like how the bottle looks like, Lanston Magique Elixir. And it was available, and then it was available in fountains for a little bit, and then it was just gone forever. It's really hard to get. That Instant Magique Elixir is absolutely gorgeous. And the second one would be Millésime Iris Noel. The rest of them, I think I have Lanston Extrait in a very, very small bottle. What else I have? I have Fleur de Mandarin. Is that a thing? Or Fleur de Thé? And there's another one. So there's like few flankers of them I have. It's probably on my videos, like earlier on videos of the Lanston. And some of there are 2 dogs on the side. They make bottles for the small-handed. You mean Diptyque? Yeah, and Diptyque comes in. So this is this 100 ml? Yeah. So this is 100 ml, but they come also in 50 ml. Those bottles are even better for like, you know, just one hand hold and spray. I find some like let's say Electimus is like very, like those bottles are giant, heavy, and you know, kind of awkward to hold and kind of try to spray. Or like even Bulgari Le Gem collection, it's a very awkward bottle to hold and spray. Now, like if you're doing it once a year, like it might not be a big deal, but if you're kind of trying to like spray it every day, that kind of not going to make it. Thank God I have small hands, and these bottles are awkward as fuck. Small hands. I do not have small hands, but not big hands either. I just have these like very, very long. I think my ring size is it a 4? So I guess like you know, it's hard to find anything. Very, very long and toothpicky. Like it doesn't look like on the video, but I have those kind of very long hands. President has yes, he does. Yes, he does. Is that indicative of something else? If you have small hands, you'll have other small parts. Is that how it is? You have penis hands. Yeah. My mom always said, you know, you should have been a surgeon. And I was like, no, thank you. I would like to sleep in the morning. I ain't going to the hospital at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's not going to happen. Also, I hate touching internal organs. So, I'm unsure what small hands mean. Probably use more fingers. Well, it's just like, it's all about proportions, right? Like if you're like proportionate, like I think the beauty for human beings, I think there's a good kind of, there was a video about what human beings perceive beauty as, and beauty is not only in certain features, it's also very much tied to proportions. So if it's something is proportional and symmetrical and proportional, I think that's the that most people perceive that as beautiful. um Anyways, so I don't, again, with this house, I don't know if I'm going to keep this one. What am I gonna do? I decanted some out of it. Most likely it will come up in my declutter sometime soon. Again, it's a nice fragrance for someone who doesn't have a huge collection, but and wants to, and is into those kind of molecular scents. I could see someone who loves MFK, someone who loves like maybe even Le Labo, those kind of fragrances, liking this one. So it's that. What else? What else? What else? I also recently, now that we are here, I'm going to talk about a couple more things since I have the bottles in my purse. So recently, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the house of Le Couvent de Minimes. And this house, really, I think it's a house from, so there's a couple of stories about this house. Is like from 1614. I don't know if there was fragrance house back then, but there's a few stories. And at some point they weren't making fragrances anymore and they kind of closed the business. But then they came back to making fragrances. And I have from the previous, wherever they were in business back in the day before coming back, because I think they came back in 2015, but I have a bottle, a giant like 500 ml bottle of Cologne de Mission, okay, Cologne de Mission, Couvent de Minimes, which is very very similar to SDB at very appealing price, Spirituous de Bourgogne. And recently I saw I saw some of the stuff from the newer kind of look of the line popping up on Fragnet, I think. And I looked at a few of them. I was like, oh, let's see what this house is about. And I ended up getting 2 bottles from this house, if I can find it in my mess here. And I see that the 2 that had the best reviews and kind of looked like something that I will like. One is Fort Royal from Couvent de Minimes. And another one is in a gigantic format. This house has something for gigantic formats. Now, where did you go? Oh, well, did I not bring that one? Oh, it still might not be here, as I'm trying to dig it out in my purse, and I don't think it's here. Oh, no, it's here. Here. And another one is called Acqua Solaris. Acqua Solaris, this is a 200 ml bottle, but they also have a 100 ml format of this one. So this house, like the pricing on this house, especially on the discounters, is really, really good. So I think this one was, hi Rich, how are you? I think this one, they probably were around $50 to $70 USD. What? My appointment wasn't for another hour. But you sound so much like me. It's like, oh, I guess my appointment was another hour. How foolish. Yes, that's our ADHD, Mitch. So anyways, so these were, I think this one was like, I don't know, $60 or $70 for 200 ml, and this was like, I think this is like a more elevated line of this, and this was a little bit more expensive, but they are absolutely, they are okay. It's not, so Fort Royal is an amber fragrance, so it's amber, I think, wild berries, and maybe incense. Is it incense or musk? I'm not 100% sure. Oh, it smells incensey to me. But this one is such a beautifully made fragrance, and I think like it absolutely worth the price of the fragrance and buying it. It's not a mind-blowing amber by any means. Like I have, like at size of my collection, I have smelled so many ambers, nice ambers, but I would put it equal to like something like current formulation of Amber Sultan, maybe Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Amber Sun. I would put it all kind of like with the same kind of category. It's a beautiful, beautiful amber fragrance, and it's cheap. I would say if you have a chance to smell it and you don't have like a bazillion ambers in your collection, just try it, because really worth it, worth the price. I really like the house has a lot of history, and also the fragrances are beautiful. The Acqua Solaris, even though I think this is kind of orange blossom, neroli, and a lot of but it's kind of has a sweetness, Acqua Solaris, that I don't know if how it will do in like absolutely heat. That's okay, Rich. He didn't say anything. He just said his name. He says Sajjad Rashidi was his name. I can read that. That's all right. So that's yeah. So it's I don't know for dead heat of like summer, dead heat of summer, like it would be good, but I think it is a fragrance that I worth trying. And like at 200 ml you can do which saw the idol, and at 200 ml you can use it as much as you want, and that's all right. Like if if I don't understand what someone is saying, or they're saying something offensive or whatever, like that's something, but that one I got. All right, I think that was about it that I had, like a few cents. Hope you guys are doing well, having a great day. What are you up to? Are there any new fragrances that you are discovering or trying? Let me know. I think I have there's a house from, I just found out there's a house in, fragrance house in Quebec City, the capital of Quebec, Quebec City, called Le Cento. I think Le Cento, that's what it's called. And I ordered, I'm excited about it. The bottles and stuff, they look like Le Labo bottles, but in a darker glass, almost like, actually, what's that brand that has a fragrance called Tacit, Aesop, something like that. It looks like that. And I've ordered a sample set of that. I am really excited to get them, because I like to support the local brands. You tried Synthetic Garden. It was a lot. Ooh, I had a sample of Synthetic Jungle and I sent it to Paroli, I think. I don't know if I tried it. I know it's kind of a controversial, it's Synthetic Jungle, right? Like Synthetic Nature is, or Synthetic Garden is Synthetic Jungle. 100% is Muslim indolic hair shampoo. Ugh. Yeah. That is gross. That is gross. You saw the water in the bikini and feared the water. It's fine. It's fine. You're the mod. You are in charge. You do whatever you want to do. I just wanted to say he didn't say anything bad. I'm in Orange Sirocco today. Oh, actually, y'all, Delise or Darius, it's sent me his sample box from Les Indemodables. It's on its way. I'm so excited to get it. Thank you for doing that. And I have promised to dedicate a review video of that, as if you've never heard the review of the Les Indemodables line, to do that. So, yeah, I'm getting a sample of a new fragrance today. Ooh, what is the new fragrance? Y'all like the stream, please subscribe if you haven't, and if all those nice things. I'm excited about the new fragrance that you're getting. I'll do a video. Okay, well, that is exciting. That is absolutely exciting. By the way, buy Rich's Guerlain Derby, please. Like, it is immediate. Needs to go. A 200 vintage splash. Buy it. buy it, and he's in UK though, although it can only send to UK. So unless, would you, Rich, would be able to, because I know some people are selling fragrances from UK, but they like have a they know of a fragrance forwarding company that like not the fragrance forwarding but mail forwarding company, so that they refer their customers to that, so customer gets an account with the fragrance in that forwarding company, and they send their fragrances to that company, and then the company sends it to US or Canada and things like that. I don't know if you ever done that or know of a, might be Forward to Me or something like that. And apparently that company has a has license to ship hazardous material, whatever the company is, and you would do that if you know what it was. Okay, so let me actually, I think I know someone who knows someone who's doing this. I'll ask them what they're using in terms of the forwarding, and that might be a way. It's pretty much is the only way to get the fragrance out of UK. Good morning, Jonathan. How are you? Yes, I will lettuce you know, but you have to have some lettuce first. What was I going to say? So I have some samples from House of Lesotho coming. Lesotho. Why would you park just beside me in this such a tight parking spot? I purposefully parked here, lady, so you don't park beside me. Anyways. Yes. So, Jonathan, what are you wearing today? What is your scent of the day? Don't hit my car, please, when you're opening the door. All right. This lady might end up in my video. Do the same thing. I parked far away for a reason. I know, right? Like, I mean, I parked, it's like there's like 5,000 empty spots closer to the building. I parked it far away purposefully so nobody parks here. But then, is the new YSL Myself Absolute? Ooh. That would be, I have never smelled YSL myself, but I have sent a sample of Muse to Karen and Paroli. I think Karen, you told me you liked it, right? And Paroli is absolutely obsessed with it, which is kind of interesting because he doesn't like much from YSL. Carl, have you tried YSL Muse? I am dying for YSL Muse to come into like discounters. Right now, I just put out Vetiver by Mona Diorio. Ooh, Jonathan, that's very nice. Like I have been curious about Vetiver by Mona Diorio. How would you say? Do you like it? And how would you say the what is the scent profile like? Because Mona Diorio can be quite different. Also very hard to find. Anyways, I don't think I will ever find what I'm. There was one that I'm looking for, and I don't think I will ever find it. And it's called, I think, is that the Violet Fumé? Yes, I'm looking for Violet Fumé, and I think I will die before I find a bottle of Violet Fumé, but that's nothing new. Violet Fumé was absolutely beautiful. I tried a sample. In fact, I think no, it's not in this pack, but I have another one. I haven't tried that one, no. Oh, Carl, you need, if you like Iris, and if you like scents in kind of black tie kind of genre and family, you will love that one. Yeah, you like Muse. Yes, it is, to be honest, and then it gets better as it dries down. Like it's beautiful in the opening, but also gets better when it dries down. Always also very kind of paranoid about, I like to get stuff in the first iteration or first release because I feel like they might change it. Is it better than yes, I would say it is. Unfortunately, I think it's better than black tie. It smells like new building plaster at the beginning, but it dries out. What? Not to me. I have a 10 ml of black tie. Yeah, but I think this is better. This is a little more like black tie is very kind of very proper and innocent. This one has a little something, a little not dirty, but something a little edgy into it, and I like it for that. Like it's just a little bit something more like, ooh, that's kind of nice. Like it grabs your attention. Versus black tie, I would see it's kind of it is kind of you know, put together and sophisticated, but doesn't have that factor. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but it is what it is. If you haven't tried it, try a sample. Usually now, I think if you buy something like even candles and stuff from YSL website, they send you a sample of this as a complimentary. And the vetiver is smooth, a little creamy, green with touch of smoke off in the distance. Me likey. Is it anything close to sycamore? Like in scent profile? Obviously, that's both are vetiver, but and if it is or it's not, what is the difference? Vetiver is. I am really enjoying this kind of vetiver and iris combo in fragrances. I would like to find out more about fragrances that have that combo, vetiver and iris. A lot of them are kind of maybe most people would think that are masculine, but to me it's a very invigorating vetiver and iris combo. And I think there are a few fragrances I have to get that sample of the Manuscura Kines one. I can't remember what is it called. It's a Matrix. Is it called Matrix? I'm not 100% sure. I have to get a sample of that one. Somebody told me about maybe it's not a new Perfumum aroma. It's called Ninfea. I don't know if anyone has tried Ninfea. Apparently it's kind of a violet scent. I'm very intrigued to try that one. If Bois d'Argent Spirit is shit, I will look into Muse. So I don't know what's the word of mouth on that. I have not watched a review of that. I have seen it for sale in some of the European groups. Came very quickly and gone from some of the plugs. I have not asked them how it smells like, but I think some people alluded to it smells like Bois d'Argent from a few years ago. So I don't know. The Aroma Original has vetiver. It's not a super strong vetiver, but I smell it. Very nice. No, Sycamore is much bigger. This is very luxe and reserved. Not light, but just restrained. How interesting. I need to know. What do you need to know? Yes. I feel like that. Oh, maybe. Ugh. Just looking for discontinued scents is like my pet peeve. Not pet peeve, but it sounds like I'm always doing it, and I'm kind of tired of chasing things that aren't available. About Bois d'Argent, I will dig some for you, and I'll see if anyone has tried. I'll ask the plugs. Thing is, now the Bois d'Argent Esprit came. Usually, when they come out now, a pre-release, you can even. I think I've seen it for sale pre-release. And usually in the gray market, pre-release is much more expensive, and then it comes to release and it's still kind of expensive, and just the prices drop. Like now you can get a bottle of those spirits for, depending what it is, between 300 to 320 USD. They are 80 ml though, that's a lot. But when they came, they were like 365, 70, 370. Yes. Bois d'Argent is absolutely beautiful. You gotta, Karen, one day you need to smell the cologne version of Bois d'Argent in that kind of old vintage of it that Rich has, 250 ml or 500 ml of it. When we find out how Rich can get fragrances out of UK, maybe you could get a sample of it. I have a little bottle. There's like probably like 100 ml left in it, not much, but it's beautiful. Big fan of Mona Diorio. Shame the house is now defunction. Yes, it's absolutely a shame. Like, Jonathan, what do you have from Mona Diorio? So I have musk, I have vanille, I have Dojima. I think that's Dojima called. Boy, I have another one too. Which one I have? I think I have 4. Dojima Musk Vanille. Escapes me, the last one. I don't know. I've seen like few ones that are coming up on. I did not like Queer at all from Mona Diorio. It was just very raunchy and very rugged, and it was not my taste at all. Osmanthus and Queer. Oh, you have Oud Osmanthus. Oud Osmanthus is in that gold bottle, right? Yeah, that's gorgeous. Mitra, if you're sick of hunting discontinued scents, I am deathly ill of it. Yes. Yes. Oh fuck. It's like it's just always. And why is it like, you know, these things that were, I don't know. So what do you guys think? So when these fragrances were in market, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I don't know some of these things that we chase these days. Like, let's say, I don't know, some of these discontinued designers. Were they a big hit when they were in production? And did people really think that, you know, this was some, like, you know, some mind-blowing, and did they really sell? Or is it that, like, they discontinued and then now all of a sudden 20 years later we are into them? I don't know. Maybe there's case for both. But it's on my unattainables list. Yeah, I have read that. Dude, that's hard for me to pronounce. Unattainables. Unattainables. Les unattainables, absolutely. Pradeep was looking for Oud Osmanthus pricey stuff. Yes, I've seen it up for sale a few times in some Facebook groups. But it is expensive. So there's that one, and I think there's Lux. I see a lot coming on eBay. I've seen Vetiver a few times popping up on eBay. There is also a seller from Azerbaijan, which is a neighbor to where I was born, a neighbor of the province where I was born. And she has some Mona Diorio. I think she has some for sale in those really old format bottles. They're not in the kind of the rounder bottles. She has them in those rectangle bottles. Oud Osmanthus is the reissue of the original Oud. Oh, interesting, which I sampled, and it's amazing. Very nice. Rare and nostalgia. Yeah, I think that's the part of it, is like it's unattainable. So it's and this is the thing, right? Like, even talking about dopamine and things like that. So, you know, the hit of dopamine is bigger if something is scarce. So if, like, is not readily available, it you know, like anything else, like with the, you know, dopamine, if anything or activity is readily available and you can do them frequently and day in, day out, like the hit of dopamine over time, the first time you do it, it will feel good, but over time it's gonna kind of reduce. So it's being unattainable, and then kind of exactly the nostalgia is like not only thinking about what it is, it's kind of reminder of where were you at in life, or things that felt good. And we often I think a lot of people you know, not try to, but have a tendency to see certain part of their past as glorious days, even though even at the moment it wasn't all that. So I think that's what they're doing. It's kind of like, not they're doing because they've discontinued the fragrance, but that's how kind of some of these things get really popular. It's both FOMO is very real. I'm guilty of not buying something unless it's discontinued, right? It's ridiculous. I am from Canada. Last purchase from Gucci was Gucci Nobile, which was something I wore as a young teen. Oh, really? Yes. Oh, I need to smell Gucci Nobile. Paroli has been asking me to look for him for Gucci Nobile, but we are not doing that at the moment, because he promised that he's gonna, oh, by the way, guys, an update. Paroli has promised that there's 2 more fragrances that he wants, and then he will put a cap on it. He's not gonna buy any more fragrances. Now watch for it. That's why I play hard to get. Yes. I mean, there's something to be said for that, right? It's just, to be honest, it's not like playing hard to get, but I feel like there's something to be said for knowing your boundaries and not you know, investing in your energy, even in relationship and things like that, where it's appreciated. And when you are available to everyone all the time, that means that you're not available for yourself. And that is something to say that there's something about you. This is not about everyone else, it's about you. So, and that kind of sets the trap for disappointment, the resentment, and all sort of other things. So it's not really playing hard to get. It's just, I have to keep this, I have a tendency to be available to everyone all the time and not showing up for myself. So that's something for me to kind of keep in mind, that, and go back to it over and over again, and looking at most interactions that I have with people as this is the mental energy and something that I'm putting out. Not, I'm not saying that look for one-to-one interactions and, you know, but there needs to be a harmony and balance. Sorry, that went off too philosophical again. Nerd part of me came out. There was something cool about, very, very cool about getting your hands on a rare. Absolutely. You know, when I kind of unsealed that 1940s Chanel 46, like I was always like shaking, because this is kind of part of history. Like, you know, somebody owned this bottle in 80 years ago, and fragrance has survived, like, and this bottle has survived for 80 years. And I don't know, it is sealed, so I don't know 100% would have smelled the same that it did then, but it's kind of like reminiscent of that, and it's something very, very cool. The same shitty, it's the same for shitty memories, and fragrances due to unfortunately sad memory. Yes, 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 yes. Spraying it again for the first time, it doesn't exactly smell the same as I remember. Yeah, so that's the other thing, right? Like, you know, I don't know. So you get these vintage fragrances over time. Yeah, the formula, even if they're sealed, it might change depending where they are kept, what's the condition of, you know, storage, things like that. And some materials don't age very well in general, and the air exposure in the bottle. And I wonder sometimes, so anything that you sense, your sensory things, you see, you hear, you taste, is subject to change based on your state of mind at the time. So that's why recollection, like in terms of memory, recollection of two people who had witnessed the same incident isn't 100% same. I mean, the closer you are to the incident, the closer are the descriptions, but as further it goes and the memory is processed, and put in the shelf that is appropriate for it in the brain, it is subject to change. And plus, every time you pull that memory, and this is an interesting thing about memory, if you're here for the nerdy talk, every time you think about a memory, it is also subject to change based on the state of mind you have at the time. And this is part of, like, people do trauma work and whatever, treatment for trauma. This is part of it. That's how you kind of try to, you know, process the traumas and things like that. And so it is very interesting. So when we smell something we smelled something, let's say 20 years ago, in a certain frame of mind, in a certain place in our lives, and the fragrance had certain ingredients, and we thought of it as such, and we remember it fondly as it goes. Was it whether, like, 100% was the fragrance we smelled at the time and we loved, or was it in the context of everything we lived at the time, or our life was, or state of our mind was, or had we broken up with someone, and all those things is going to it, right? And then now, 20 years later, you will smell the fragrance. Yeah, there might be a little bit of a shift in the composition, but also your life has changed. You're in a different place of your life. You have different state of mind. And sometimes this is about the kind of a little bit disappointing aspect of it for me, because it doesn't smell like same. So it is kind of, I always tell people, you got to keep the memories in your heart. You will not, the memories or the places or the people is not going to be that. It's just whatever you have in your mind and the concept that you have built. That's what it is. Anyway, long rant and tangent. Hi, Deshaun, how are you? Hi, Moose, what's the juice? Juice is loose douche. That's why fragrance reviewing is so silly. So no one really knows what it actually smells like to the perfumer. Exactly. Everyone has their own biases and perceptions. Absolutely. And this is what I kind of like sometimes struggle where with this concept, and I don't know how they do it, to be honest. Like, in my work, in my regular work, I do things that I don't like to do, and that's part of any work, basically. I mean, most of the time, you know, you would have a component of your work that you're doing. Hopefully, it's not the majority of your work, but a component of work that you don't like to be doing. Like, it's just you dread doing it. That's normal. That's life. I do it. I get through it. Whatever. I do kind of like I have to hype myself for it. Whatever. But when I'm creating something, if that is something that I don't like, that I don't, it will be a huge struggle for me, And sometimes these perfumers who are retained by a certain house and given certain briefs, and they don't even like the brief, and they have to create something that goes with the brief, right? Like, they can't be just going out venturing on their own unless it's their own house or whatever. They're coming with the idea themselves. How do you even do that? And I don't know, does that affect the success of the perfume? Because I feel like what you put into a perfume, the love, the passion, the whatever you put into it, other than just the chemicals, it makes it better for whatever reason that is. And I don't know how they do it, to be honest. I wouldn't be able to do. Yes, agree. It was a kind of disappointing, but it is good to let go. Yes. You know, that's another thing, right? That's another thing. So I struggled, and today I do struggle with this. So not talking about the scents, but in terms of memories. So in Iran, like, when a house gets to be like 15 years old, they demolish the house from get-go and build the new buildings. Like, there wasn't, like, when I was growing up and up to like maybe like a few years ago, there wasn't a lot of you know, bylaws on these things. Like, there was some heritage buildings that they would save it, but there wasn't a lot of bylaws on these things. So house of my childhood, it was very interesting for me to go and visit the house. So at some point, my family purchased my grandpa's house, and we moved into my grandpa's house. And I always envisioned this house having a huge garden. And I thought, I grew up there. I was about, I think, 9 when we moved out of that house. I always thought of it that it had a huge garden and this and that and whatever. Then I had never visited the house until I moved to Canada. And I moved to Canada? No, I had moved away for university, and then I must have been, I don't know, 22, 23, and I was like, I am in my hometown and I want to go visit the house of my childhood, because I had really, you know, fun memories of it. And I went. It was very brave of me. Knocked on the door. Some woman opened the door, and I said, you know what? Like, I grew up in this house, you know, and whatever. This was the house of my childhood. It was like, I have a lot of memories from it and whatnot. I just want to see the garden again one more time. Oh, I'm gonna get emotional about it. I don't know why. So, and the lady was super, super nice. She was like, oh, absolutely, come in, please come in. If you want to even go inside the house, please do so. And I went inside, and I realized how small the garden was. And all these things that I remembered from my childhood, it was just like, I thought of it was so big, and it's always stayed in my mind like that. And this wasn't, the proportions were a lot smaller. And it was a little disappointing. And I was like, I walked out and I was like, oh, okay, I'd rather keep what I thought about my house in my mind rather than what it is actually. And then a few years later, I went back again, and they had demolished the whole thing. Like, they had demolished the whole thing, and they had like built apartments where it was. And I was glad that I saw it before it was demolished, because it kind of made it easier for me to let go of. So, sorry, that's a really long emotional story, but I don't know why I went there. So I'm just saying that, you know, it's sometimes when you hold something so precious in your mind and then you see it and it's not it really, then you kind of realize that what you're holding on to is the memory, not the thing, and it makes it easier to let go. That, to your point, Muse. Antoine Lee was not thrilled to work on Immortelle, they said from the Lausanne. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I wonder how it is now. Nothing like fragrances. It's an interactive art form. Absolutely. I hear you, Mitra. I do miss my childhood home. I mean, why am I getting emotional about this morning? You know, these are the things. So there are a lot of like bad things happened when I was young, like in terms of like war and revolution and shit. But I do also have these precious memories like in my mind. I would never forget them. I'm looking forward to that Immortelle. Absolutely. Good on you for knocking on the door. I was too scared to do that myself. I know. I mean, I was with a friend, and I kept, because I had kept talking about it, and the friend was like, you know what, I'm fucking done with this. Let's go see the house. And she actually made me to do it. Nostalgia can be a powerful thing. Yes, absolutely. The new zoologist Man O' War has Immortelle as a top note. Yes, I watched, actually Karen made me watch, it's a full moon, absolutely. Karen made me watch a review video of that Immortelle on TikTok. I mean, the guy was giving the description, to be honest, it doesn't sound like something that I would like. Like, it's apparently some aquatic notes and some soapy tonka. He talked about gunpowder. It was, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't something that most likely I would like. So I am going, most likely I will take a pass on that. Other than I'm a little mad in general about the brand, but I will, it's not that. I don't feel like it's something that I would wear, to be honest. So I will just let go of that for now. On this, it comes up with a little bit of a better reviews. I mean, he was the reviewer was really raving about it, and he really liked it. But I was like, yeah, okay. Sorry, Mitra, I don't have TikTok, and I like. Oh well, you know what? I'm happy you made me do that, because otherwise I would not be aware that there was some. I'm actually in the process of. There was some. I did something very stupid yesterday in regards to a relationship with a friend, and I was very upset about it, and I had to sort it out. When you actually texted me, I was going to record the video and send it to you on the screen record, but I wasn't in a state of mind about it. I'm hoping it's not Calon heavy. Most likely will be. I'm sorry. It's probably most likely is, because the way he talked about salty, he talked about aquatic and soapy, and I'm like, bleh. Seaweed, seaweed too, I think. Yes. Y'all, I gotta run to work. Thanks for being here. This was longer than I intended it to be. Hope y'all are doing well. You have a good hump day in the middle of the week, and we shall see you later. Love you all. Bye bye.